We'll just wait a little bit more so that people who are here live are seated so that we can start with the second part. Okay, hi everyone. So my name is Tamara and I'm from Croatian company Končar. I kindly ask everybody who's here just to be quiet. We practiced for 2 days for what is to come now. So for last 2 days, there were intense preparations, but we've been working on the project for quite some time now. And this is the first live demo of the tools here at the Zagreb Airport. So as it's written here, this is what we call inside the project Croatia scenario number 4, but actually it's the first one that has the live demo. I will now introduce the people who will take part in this scenario. So we have Carmen here, who is from the laboratory in Graz. She's operating the PRAETORIAN platform. Then we have Matija from Zagreb Airport, also a physical security operator. We have 2 teams that you don't see here. One team is on the old terminal building with the counter UAV system and the drone, and another team is at the check-in counters with the video analytics tool and the actor. And well, I won't give away everything now. You will see during the scenario or what will happen. So just to give you a short overview of the scenario. This scenario was developed inside the project with collaboration of all the partners, so the laboratory, the airport, people who were developing the tools. It starts at the laboratory. So as it says here, the laboratory is targeted by a group of terrorists and they have blueprints of the laboratory building. They managed to get the copy of the ID card and the 4-digit code which is used to enter the laboratory. Then this terrorist uses the ID card and the 4-digit code to enter the laboratory. Once inside, he steals some of the dangerous samples and also puts a USB which has malware into the PC which is in the laboratory. Then he goes outside, splits the sample, and 2 terrorists, one of them also has a drone in his car, drive towards Zagreb from Graz to try to use it at Zagreb Airport. And sometimes after they leave the airport, first legitimate user comes to the laboratory, he logs in to his computer and the malware which is on the USB is launched. So this is just a short overview. We will go step by step and explain some more details. After that, at the airport, the check-in process is disabled by one of the corrupted employees, and there is a lot of people at the airport waiting to check in. It's crowded. And the attackers with their cars approach the Zagreb Airport. So with the aim to go with this dangerous biosample into the indoor part and the outdoor part of the airport. So, as I said, we start at the laboratory. Laboratory in Graz is a biosafety level 3 laboratory, which means that some of the samples that are stored there are quite dangerous. So it's not just regular laboratory, it's biosafety level 3 laboratory, which has special procedures of how you can enter inside, how you have to behave inside the laboratory. So, as I said, Carmen here works there at the University of Graz in the biosafety level 3 laboratory. So just to go quickly on what happened before the attack. So the terrorists did their homework, they prepared, they have the blueprints, they have the ID card and the code, and now they wait for the best moment to attack. Now, we will now switch to a video of the attack at the laboratory. This is something that happened last night. So during the night, somebody entered the laboratory and took the sample. You will see it now. Okay, we switch to Stefan, who was developing the tool, and he will show us actually what happened in Graz. Okay, Stefan, you can share your screen now.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, what you see here is actually the video analytics part. So there are 4 cameras connected, and what the system does, it detects and classifies objects, that is persons, but also faces, other parts, and tracks them down. So the logic behind this thing is that regular stuff would actually entering the changing room, which the attacker just did, and then change into protective gear, which takes some time, and then actually enters the laboratory. So our logic here applies that, first of all, the time between entering the changing room and from the same person then entering the laboratory is actually too short for him or her to change into the protective gear. And then there is also a person or actually clothing classifier that detects that the typical appearance, actually the color of the clothes is not matching. So usually it should be yellow, and therefore it generates an alarm, and this is then sent out to the Praetorian core system. And this contains video footage from the person that just broke into the laboratory. And while we did detect such a critical behavior, we also collect some facial recordings along the way of that potential attacker so far.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. So, as we said, terrorist took the sample, and now what happens is that actually Carmen here, who is the operator, she sees some incidents that happened inside her system. So she will share her screen now to see what is it that she sees on her screen now.
So here I received an email. It tells me that the procedure at the lab is not performed. So I got further information here. So we can view the location of the incident. It shows the Medical University of Graz, where the lab is located. It also shows the video, which we will see in the physical situation awareness system. And so to get further information, we move to the decision support system. Here we got the incidents. It tells us the procedure is not performed, and yeah, it's a physical attack. So we move to the physical situation awareness system. Here we got the new incident. It zooms in at the right location. Here we can see several alerts. The color of the alerts depends on the criticality of the incident. So here we got an orange alert. It leads us to the video we also could have seen in the email. Here we see the attacker who doesn't wear the yellow lab suits. So the alarm was created. Here we see that something is stolen from the fridge. And he also manipulates the PC at the laboratory. The second orange alert leads us to camera, which is live stream from the lab. So we see the attacker isn't here anymore. The yellow alert, it's the sensor of the fridge. So here we see the exact time where the temperature rise. So to get an overview about the connection of the incidents, we move back to the decision support system. Here we see we got another alert in the hybrid situation awareness system. So we move here. Here we have to connect to the system. So we get the alert here that we got some cascading effects, and we can show them on the map. So we can view these effects step by step. So the hybrid situation awareness system allows us to view the cascading effects as an overview to predict the effects of the current situation on future events. So now we can show further information. Here we see it's a physical attack. So the unallowed person in the changing cabin, we already viewed in the PSA. Next step was the lab door. It's the person without gears. So we could inform the lab manager that the person is detected there. Next step could be good to inform the authorities about the incident. And also the airport here in Zagreb could be affected, so you could inform the official, also the personnel here too. So another view is the synoptic life diagram. It shows the connection between the groups of assets, and it offers a more clear and schematic overview. So, sorry. Sorry.
Yes, I'm the technical responsible. There is an option. Yeah.
Oh.
For some time to use it, but still, Juanjo, who is
Thank you.
who was developing the tool, is here to assist her.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Juanjo.
Thank you. So here we can see the connection of the different assets and which assets are affected, and yeah, which sorry. So here you see everything which is green, it's okay. And here the affected assets in orange. So for example, the camera here can affect the lab, and so you see how this all is connected and could also affect the airport.
Carmen. So just to sum up what she showed us now, there are 4 tools that Carmen showed us. Is the decision support system, where initially all the incidents show up, and then from there she can choose to have more information about the incident using the physical situation awareness system, hybrid situation awareness system, and the synoptic light diagram. She does not necessarily have to use all of them, but she can. I just want to explain the difference between the hybrid situation awareness system and the synoptic light diagram. Essentially, they show the same information, but in the different ways. So hybrid situation awareness has exact location of the assets. So maybe when you have critical infrastructure that share the same platform, as in this case. So in this case, airport and laboratory share the same platform, they can share information. So we have them separated, then maybe that view does not clearly show the assets, but then on the synoptic live diagram, it's more compact and can see how the assets in different critical infrastructure are connected. So thank you, Carmen. One more thing that I wanted to stress out is that the scenario that was shown at the beginning with all those steps, ideally, it would stop now, because we would see what happened, we would react. But as you all know, in security in general, it's all about the technology you use, the people, the processes that you have. So not everything works perfectly. That's why we're going to play the scenario from the beginning till the end and show how in each of those steps the tools can be useful. So yeah, ideally it would stop now, but we'll move forward and say, okay, let's say terrorists were successful. They stole the sample. They split it into two, got into their cars, drove from Graz to Zagreb, which takes about 2.5 hours. So somewhere in the morning, they are here in Zagreb. And in the morning, when the first user...
Tamara, sorry for interrupting you, but I got
Okay.
an alert in the cyber situation awareness system. So here we can see the assets. Here in the inner circle, the primary assets, and the supporting assets are around. Here, the laboratory PC is affected, so this also affects the primary asset, the lab information system. And here in the timeline, we can see that these three events trigger the alert. So if the alert is seen and somebody stops this process, the data destruction could be prevented.
Okay, thank you. So as I was saying, the malware was launched when the first user logged into their computer in the morning. And Carmen, as the operator, got the incident. And again, if everything goes on, the incident should be prevented before it managed to destruct the data in the lab. So what was the idea of the terrorist? You steal the sample, you destruct the data, the database where you have the information about the samples, and then people don't know that there's something missing because they cannot reach their database. But thankfully, so the database stays as it is, so it's not affected by the attack. So as you've seen, there are a lot of alarms that were triggered here, and people at the laboratory, they have all the information to do whatever they need to do according to the law and the procedures that they have internally in such situation. But what also is important here is that Matija, who is at Zagreb Airport and who shares the same platform, he can see the same incidents. So now Matija will show us what he can see, even though there's nothing happening at the airport now. But sharing the same platform enables him to see some of the things that are happening in Graz that could maybe hypothetically affect Zagreb Airport. So yeah, we can switch to Matija now.
Okay, now I see in the DSS decision support system that there is a alarm concerning that there is slight affection in the airport sites. Now I can choose to, let's say, download the video.
So we can see the same video basically that Carmen saw there, even though it's not so important for him now, but yeah, he has the information that somebody stole something from a from a laboratory, biosafety level 3 laboratory that has dangerous samples in Graz. So it's the same video that actually that Carmen has. So this is one of the strengths, because there's a shared platform. We can choose which information critical infrastructure want to share, which they don't want to share. So we can set up, it's all configurable. So in this case, we are aware, data protection, all the laws, but what we're presenting here is the technical possibilities. Okay, so these are the technical possibilities. We can do that technically. Okay, thank you, Matija. That's all. That's the only alarm that you received. That's really something that's important for you. Okay, so we move on with the with the attack. So let's say they were successful in all these steps. And now we move to Zagreb Airport. So as I said previously, they are also in collaboration with somebody here to physically disrupt the check-in system. So the check-in systems are not working. So some of them are empty. There are no people there because they're not working. Other places at the airport, there's a lot of people because they're waiting for the check-in to work again. And our attackers approach the airport. One of them tries to go to the inside part of the airport, and the other one is coming with the drone. So the system is disabled. A lot of tourists are coming. Let's say it's summer. A lot of people are here. The employee corrupted the system. A lot of people gathered at some places in the airport. And now we can go actually live to see what's happening at the check-in counters. So what you're going to see now, it's happening live. So our first attacker enters the airport and loiters around the check-in counters. So for those of you who first heard the word loitering, for me, it was the first time that I heard it in this project. It means that somebody is walking around an area where there should not be without the clear vision of what they're doing. So we have a video analytics tool that can detect such suspicious behavior, and you will see how it works now. So if Stefan is ready, we can switch to the cameras that are at the check-in counters.
Just a second. Okay, let me share my screen. So can you see it?
Yes. So this is live from
Okay.
the check-in counters.
So now we have here an area that is under observance, where specific rules are applied. In this case, the loitering part, and also there was an upload of a specific facial image. So whenever persons are there who are actually do not belong there for a definable, of course, amount of time, then the system will generate an alert. And as soon as we capture the facial area, there will be a alert generated as well. You can see that on the right-hand side here, that gallery image was actually captured from the footage of the Graz video. So, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. So the attacker is there. Mattia here now received an alarm. One of those is the loitering alarm. So a person is detected who is loitering around an area where they shouldn't be. And the other one, so that person, we caught his face and compared it to the face from Graz. And that is something that Mattia should now be able to see in his system.
Okay, now I see two new alerts about the face recognition and the loitering. I will now switch to the PSA platform. Go on site, and I will select this incident about. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
So there are a lot of sensors that are around here. There's this camera, for example, and lots of sensors that could be put at the airport. Okay, do you see it?
Yes, check the camera and incidents are incidents.
Ah, sorry.
No. There are two incidents in that camera, and then you leave the camera and you go to the incident.
Okay, so for people online, just helping
Yes,
Mattia find
sorry.
Okay, the incidents. So here there are.
Now I will go to the face recognition. Then we will see.
Okay, just check the camera icon once. No, this one, just for refreshing. No, it's okay. It goes.
Okay, so here it is. So
now I see
this is what was captured at the check-in area, so he can see and check really once again that it is the same person as the one that was captured in Graz. Okay, so Matthew received an incident, but also we could have physical security staff around the airport who shares the same platform on their mobile phones. So we have one of them over there who received the same information on their mobile phones. So they can go directly to the location because he received information on his phone with the same platform, and now he can go there, and Mattia will see that Mattia can track him on his screen to see that he is moving and going on site to see what is happening.
I don't know if it's connected to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, hope we won't lose him, but yeah, we have two Wi-Fi networks here, so it switches from one to another. But I think he's moving, yeah.
It's on.
We see him moving here with his phone. So we're actually tracking his phone because he has the platform there. And we can maybe switch now to Stefan, who will show us again the camera at the check-in counters to see if he arrived. So Stefan, could you switch on so that we see if he arrived there?
You can see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen. It's okay. Yeah.
No. You're okay. Arrested now.
Okay, so we'll wait to see what happens there. So the terrorist is still there, loitering, generating a lot of incidents because he's still at the same place. And hopefully security will find him because they know the exact location where he is, because they can see him on the platform. So there he is. He is arriving. And yeah, hopefully he will handle the situation, even though I have to say, we are aware that there are strict rules at the airport about who can actually use force on people. But it's nice to see that we have this incident handled. So Mattia, who can see what's happening, he knows that the situation is handled. He can close the incident now. So we got rid of one of the terrorists, but the other one is still somewhere over there with his drone, so near the old terminal building. And he is waiting for a good moment to start flying the drone and go towards the airport. So he's situated at the place where he has good visibility of this terminal. What we have installed there is the counter UAV system on the top of the old terminal building that should detect him and send us information. But for this part, we just need a little bit time to coordinate because the drone flying at the airport is not an easy task. So we have to, we got clearance for flying around 11:45. So we will just have some time here to maybe discuss what has been seen so far, if you have any questions. And then when they contact us that we can fly the drone, we will switch to them to see what's happening there. So if there are any questions, all of the people who developed the tools are here in this room now. So this is an exclusive opportunity for everybody to ask any question regarding the tools and the development that was going on to make this part happen, actually.
I've seen that pretty early on in the presentation, you had this graph on the map which showed connections between Graz, Zagreb Airport and Vienna. So how did the tool get to that graph? How did it discover that there could be a connection with those three locations? Was it like prior to the attacks or later?
So maybe I can start answering. So if I don't know the real answer, then somebody else can step in. So the question is, how does the system know that some assets are actually connected, and that, yeah, because that is the information that we have to give to the system. So we need to tell the system that yes, there are critical infrastructure who are sharing the same platform, and they need to have some kind of prior risk assessment to know what could affect them and which consequences those effects could have.
Did the risk analysis get, like, initially the connection between Medicine University in Graz and Zagreb Airport? And could it, for example, also, if other airports nearby are added, show connections with those airports as well?
Yeah, so for the demo, for this scenario, we have two critical infrastructure because, as you imagine, demonstrating these connections live is not easy. That the terrorist is here. We didn't put him in prison, but yeah, he's here. So as I said, yeah, ideally we could have regions inside Europe or regions inside the country that share the same platform, and then all critical infrastructure. So we could have hydropower plants. We could have maritime port in Rijeka, for example, also sharing the information. But we should be able to say in advance what are possible connections between that critical infrastructure. So if I missed something, no, it's okay. Yeah, okay. People in the back who are developing the system say that the answer was okay. So if there are any other questions, so while waiting for permission to fly a drone. Okay, do we have a drone here? Because there's some kind of detection. I don't know if people, Igor, that's on the old terminal, can hear me and can tell me if there's something happening there, or we are still waiting for the drone.
Hi, it appears that they've turned on the drone, but they're not flying it yet.
Oh, sorry, Igor, I did not, the sound was very bad, so if you could repeat that.
Sorry, so it looks like they've turned on the drone, but they haven't started flying it yet, so we're still waiting. Can you hear me now? Okay.
So I didn't catch him. Okay, the drone is turned on, but it's not flying. Okay, thank you. So we'll still have to wait a little bit for the drone to fly. They're preparing. So if you could mute, please.
Hi, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, I hear now. Okay. Okay, so we're waiting.
We're waiting.
Okay, thanks. So if there are any other questions while we're waiting, it shouldn't take us too long because, yeah, the approximate time was 11:45 when we should be able to fly the drone and then show also that part of the scenario. Yes, okay, we have a question there.
What about the security of communication channels?
Okay. No. That's the question was about the security of the channels through which the information is shared. And okay, so one of the ideas.
Drone detected inside geobeds.
Sorry, it's the guys with the counter UAV. If you could mute your microphone, please. I will try to answer the question here, and then if I need help, I will. Okay, thanks. So the security of the communication channels, one of the intentions of these kinds of projects is also to show what is technically possible, and then to also push the other stakeholders and everybody to put the effort to standardize some parts of the solutions. So what does not exist and what we've detected during this project is that we don't have a standard that defines how critical infrastructure should share information. So even on the technical level, on the communication level, on the level of the semantics of the messages that they're sharing and stuff like that. But for this project, maybe Juanjo can tell us something about how it was solved inside this project. So, okay.
Hello. Okay. Regarding security, we are using credentials for accessing the different services, and just they are provided to the yes. Now? Okay,
Yeah.
much better. We are providing this
Okay,
credit.
sorry, I have to stop you because we have a drone flying. So we can switch to the camera. We can switch to what's happening there, and you will get the answer later. Sorry for that, but this was time critical. Okay, can we switch to the teams? Yeah. Okay.
So can you hear me? Can you confirm that you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you can now see our optical drone detection system user interface. On the top, you can see the map, which shows the current system orientation, as well as the approximate locations of the objects that the system detected. On the bottom, you see video feeds from both cameras. The left side is showing the video feed from the static camera, and the right side is showing the video stream from the pan tilt zoom camera. Detected objects are represented in blue dots and rectangles on static camera video feed. And when the object is detected, the PTZ camera zooms onto it and locks and system checks if the object is a drone or not. And if it's a drone, it raises an alarm, as you've seen before, and the PTZ camera continues to follow it. You can see actually the path that the drone took on the static video feed. And on the right column, user can see all the alerts there that are recently raised by the system. So now when the drone is detected, the video of the drone will shortly arrive to Praetorian.
Okay, thank you. So that was live from the roof. And we have another team which is in the van where the system is actually located. So we can now switch to them.
So hi, we're in the van at the moment.
Okay, Igor, we again have problems with your
Yeah,
sound.
we're live in the van at the moment. Unfortunately, they stopped flying the drone at this point. You saw it land on the video feed from the visual system. But on this screen here, we have a map of the area and our current location marked with the blue mark. And once the drone is flying, it turns up on the map and is being tracked by the RF system. We then have other applications and integrations that then propagate that information to the Praetorian system. I can, however, have a look in the last 10 minutes. So this is the drone location as it was back then. And I also have more information about exactly what drone was used, in this case, a DJI Maverick 2. We can see its last long location and the frequency it used, the altitude it was flying at, what speed, direction, and all more information. We also have the ability to set up a geofence. We interrupted the presentation or the question with the alert of it being inside the geofence. And we also have the ability to use a MAC address filtering system to have the drone be shown as a friendly drone or an enemy drone. We haven't used that in this scenario because we wanted to have a alert system trigger and be shown on the PSA. And that's all I have to demonstrate so far.
Okay, thank you, Igor. So that went well. What happens now is that what you've seen, so the drone was flying, it was detected by the system that's on the roof, and team that's with the van, with all the equipment there, could analyze what has been seen. But also that system is integrated into the Praetorian platform, which means that if you could now switch to me, we had this second attacker, and Matthias should have received an alert, an incident that a drone was detected there, together with the short footage of what was actually detected there. Yeah, we can switch to Mattia now, and you can see actually on the screen that he has UAV detection here, and he will explain you how he can use the system now.
Okay, now I have two new incident reports about the drone detection in the vicinity of the airport. Now I can again choose the PSA system, and the system will directly go in the vicinity of the drone. I can select the video footage.
And that's the same one that you saw there, that the guys saw there. So Mattia can see that the same video footage here.
For now,
yeah,
I can set.
Okay, so yeah, that is what he can do. First, we have this detection part, and now we go actually to what we call the coordinated response. You've seen this morning. You can please switch to my screen. Thank you. You have seen this morning that there are several options within our tools, what you can do now with all that information. So you have the emergency population warning system and the social media warnings. Those two are used to inform the public about what's happening here. So yeah, you could use the old-fashioned way and call them on the phone. But here you have the technology that helps you to automate to automatically do some things in the process. Then there's the drone neutralization possibility. So I say possibility, it is a technical possibility. We could not do it here at the airport because it's strictly prohibited to do certain things at the airport. It took a lot of effort to fly a drone here and to neutralize it at the airport. We cannot show you that. But it will be possible after we finish with this demo to go downstairs where guys with the van and the equipment will come, and you will be able to see it live in front of the airport. We'll give them some time to pack and come here. So, as I said, drone neutralization as a possibility, and then finally, as the final step, involvement of first responders. So you've seen the tool again. That's something that should facilitate the communication between critical infrastructure operators and the first responders who will be called to do something. So that could be the police officers, the firemen. In our case, we have the Croatian Mountain Rescue Service. You may ask yourself why Croatian Mountain Rescue Service. We will show you that later. So yeah, Mattia can now show us what he can do after he receives all the information from various sensors inside the system.
Okay, for the next step, I can set up a perimeter around the incident with the drone. Let's say label it evacuation, description, possible terrorist attack, and select.
So some things can be predefined here to help him to choose between some possible incidents. And
perimeter will be predefined as emergency area. This time now I will see number of mobile phones when I send the alert.
So this red, just to mention that this red area is the area in which these EU alerts will be sent to the cell phones of the people around the incident.
So okay, he marked the area where he wants to send the EU alert message to people there, but the tool also offers him the opportunity to count the number of people and to see where the people are situated in that area that could be in danger with the events that are going on here at the airport. Yeah. So then there's also the social media warnings system that helps here. Here, the social media is Twitter, but it could be any other. Just for the demonstration here, it will be Twitter.
For now, I will choose the drone detection in the vicinity of the airport. Predefined message is already in the message screen, and just press tweet and it goes on social media, not the real one, of course.
Okay.
The idea here is to use the social media.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Better. Okay. So the idea here is for the operator to give the opportunity, the option to the operator to use the social media as an alternative, let's say, communication channel to let the people know that okay, there is something going on in the airport.
Okay. Again, and now we have the drone neutralization. We cannot do it, but we can see if we did it, that Mattia would receive also information about that. So I think that if we have the neutralization also running now, so this is just a simulation because we cannot neutralize the drone, so we have to simulate that.
Okay,
and Mattia can see that it happened.
Yeah, okay, the PSA sent me another incident report regarding the drone neutralization. For now, I can check with the video of the disabling the drone.
So the drone is landed somewhere, and he also has the location of where the drone is now. So it's landed, it was neutralized, and it's on a certain location. Remember our scenario. We don't know if there's a bomb, if there's some kind of dangerous virus, or if somebody's just, playing with us. We don't know that, but we know that there's a drone there and that it's potentially dangerous. So now what Mattia wants to do is he wants to ask for help. So first he has to find the drone, and for looking for things in inaccessible areas, we have Croatian Mountain Rescue Service. So he will choose to call them to help find the drone that fell somewhere near the airport. So, yeah.
Okay, now I have a possibility to choose information sharing with the first responders. And I'll select the incident. Drone neutralization. In this part of the screen, the first responders will receive the geolocation of the drone. I can now share that information with that. In this side of the screen, I can choose which team should I send to the zone. In this part, it's, let's say, biological. This information is about weather in that micro-location of the drone neutralization zone, and just update history. With this, the first responders will receive every information possible for the zone of the neutralization.
Okay, so they received an initial message. We need somebody to help us find the drone. Here is the location. Here are the weather conditions there. And yeah, probably you should bring equipment if we find that there's some hazardous material there. So that is something they receive as an initial information. But after that initial information, they can choose to pick up the phone to get more information. They can choose to use one of the other tools here, which Mattia and Lazarus here will show you how it works, how they can use the chat inside the Praetorian tool to communicate if they need to share some other information apart from this initial information.
Okay, in the last part, I can choose chatting with first responders. Here you can see all the information that were sent to the first responders. And now I can send them a message.
Okay. He wrote, please proceed with caution if you don't see, because maybe you don't see the, so, and the first responder said, okay, message received, our team is on the way. So they can do live communication as they need to share more information, or the chat tool also has a possibility to just phone them and give some other information. Now that the first responders are informed, we can show you what they do now. What the first response, so this video was filmed yesterday. I cannot lie, it's not now. We filmed it yesterday, just to be able to show you in short time what happens here, because otherwise, you know, the rescue mission and finding the drone could last for some time. So you will see here that, okay, they called them to tell them where they should look for the drone. They have also their own systems inside their van where they can look at the location and try to see what they can expect there. And they have to call their initial procedures, so to call people, to tell them what kind of equipment to bring with them, and they initiated their procedure, and they marked the area where the people should look for the drone. And finally, yeah, they arrive at the location where their van is stationed. So I have to say that Croatian Mountain Rescue Service is a bunch of volunteers, people who are very enthusiastic about their job, and they bring their equipment. Their internal procedures, according to the internal procedures, they need to have a short briefing. So people in the van who receive the information tell them, okay, yeah, we have to look for a drone. It looks like this, because they also know how it looks like. It is somewhere in this area, and then they are searching in what we could, something that looks like a wood near, and they found the drone. So it's exactly on the location where it was supposed to be. What they can do, they do not touch it because they don't know what it is, but they mark the location and they can share again. So imagine if the Praetorian platform was used by other stakeholders in the country. So they could use the same tool to share that information with the police, with whoever they need to share it with. So technologically, it's possible. The technology facilitates them to share that kind of information. So now that they found it, they could share that information with whoever is the next one in line to do something in response to this situation. So, this ends the scenario. And yeah, well, pretty much everything was live. So we're very happy that it all went well. As I said, if you have any questions, people who are developing the tools are here. We can also take a walk to the check-in counters where there are people who are doing the video processing and video analysis. There's the camera mounted there. And it will take some time for people with the counter UAV to come in front of the airport. So we'll be able to see actually how their systems look, and you can ask them some additional questions if you are interested in seeing what the system can do. So thank you very much, everybody online and everybody here for being here. Yeah, maybe if we have some questions online, we can take online questions as well. I forgot actually to ask if online participants want to ask something. So if you have some questions online, raise hands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sold. Okay. So yeah, for everybody online, thank you. I think we will now finish the online meeting, and for everybody who's here live, we can maybe take a walk and see the systems here. One thing, please, just Lazarus will tell you.
Yes, one last thing, we will share with you a questionnaire to provide us with some feedback about today's demonstration. So please, at your earliest convenience, fill in this questionnaire, which you will receive by email and send it back to us. Thank you very much.